and for him to just be this guy who became more open and honest with people was like, why didn't I play with this guy? I played with number 8. I would have loved to got to know this guy, the fun-loving guy who could put a smile on his face. Because you think about when he was number 8, he was just, driven.
Like you said,
he was driven to be the best, and you respected that.
Yeah.
And you played with him and you honor that, and you came to practice each and every day, and you try to give him the business, And I'm gonna tell a little fun story, but we knew how driven Kobe was.
Mm-hmm.
So you remember the game, the string game we used to play, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Kobe couldn't shoot threes back then, so he would always get beat. And we'd get to practice, he down there shooting three. Yo, guys, can we play? We'd be like, nah, we ain't playing today. And he would get mad because he wanted revenge, right? And then we'll wait like 2 or 3, okay, we'll play today. Then he gets beat again, and he go right back in the lab trying to get better. And it was just one of those things, like we used to mess with him so much about things he could not do. And that dude would be in the gym next morning, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., trying to prove us wrong. Just, you think I can't do that? I'm going to go work on it.
Yeah.
And that's what made him great, man. Because I played with a lot of superstars, Hall of Famers, that they wouldn't work on their weaknesses. Yeah. This dude worked on every weakness he had.
Yeah, I tell people when you talk about KB, the work ethic is unmatched.
Yep.
And like you, I've played with a bunch of great players, Hall of Famers, top 75, all that. And not to say that they didn't work hard. I know Akeem worked hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Magic worked his ass off. James worked his ass off. Cap worked it. But this dude, he took it to a whole different level.
Yeah.
And I was blessed to see that my last year with the Lakers. And I'm sitting there watching this kid, and I'm going, man, this dude's going to be unbelievable.
But I understand, though, it's like, if you think about all the things he accomplished in his life and the things he did in his stories, he had to have another guy, man. He didn't sleep at all because he was everywhere. He was doing so much charity work. He was doing so many things for people. I'm like, dude, when do you sleep,
big
man?
Shot. The dude, like you said, and a lot of the charity work, like you said, that he did, he did that, way beyond the cameras and all that stuff. He wasn't trying to get publicity and all that. He was just doing that because that's something that he loved to do and something that he had a passion for. But, that last year I coached him, right? He would text me at like 4 a.m. Like, Coach, what we doing for practice tomorrow night? And I would wake up at 6, right? And I said, what the fuck? You texting me at 4 a.m. for, man? Oh, I was up and I was like, Kobe. And like you, I say, Kobe, do you sleep, man? And he's straight like this. No, not really. He said, I'm working on this. I'm working on that.
Man.
I was like, man, you got to get some sleep. I said, but by the way, we ain't really doing a whole lot today in practice. So you ain't got to come if you don't want to. But if you come in, I ain't going to let you do a lot either. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to save you and get you to the end of this season so you can play that last game, right?
Yeah.
So he was just one of those dudes that's just, I never met, never seen anybody that went at it every day like it was his last day. Yeah. And that was amazing.
For me, I marvel at the fact that he could add anything he wanted to his game, because there's a lot of guys, I don't care how good you are, you just can't add it to the game. You just don't have that skill set.
Right.
And for him, though, he could add whatever he want to his game. For me, that's why it makes him, in my list, top 3 players of all time. So,
I agree with you. I remember he wanted to learn how to play in the post. He called Akeem. You know what I'm saying? He called it Dream because he felt Dream had the best footwork of any big man he's ever seen.
He's like, I think that's the first conversation we ever had. Like, how was it? Tell me about Dream. How was it to play with him? How about his footwork? I'm like, soccer. And Dream had the best footwork, and and he was always trying to learn. And this is after my first year retired. When you walk away from the game, you kind of away from the game. And then I took Cameron, my middle son, to a game, and this is when my Cameron was trying to play basketball. We're trying to transition from basketball to football. He was playing both. And we went to a game, and we were talking to Kobe and Fish after the game in the locker room. And he says, Cam, how you doing? Like, good. How's the game coming? He says, okay. And he looked at me like, he looked at Cam like, your dad is one of the smartest players I ever played with. And then Cam looked at me with this bewildered look. Like, this dude? I'm like, dude, I know how to play the game. And so I said that because, as parents, we try to teach our kids so many things and they just won't listen.
They won't. They think they know it already.
Yeah, if there's someone they admire and then they tell you, like, oh, your dad or your mother or whoever was this good, and they're like, okay, now they have my attention. And so I tell that story because I had Cameron's attention for 2 weeks on how to play basketball. After 2 weeks, he was like, he went back to, you don't know what you're talking about, Dad.
Went back to his normal self.
Yeah.
That's kids.
Yeah.
That's kids.
Yeah.